You are now watching the Queen Chioma. So hey guys, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video, podcast edition. So by the title, we are going to be talking about the diaspora and some of the comments that I've been seeing and receiving in the midst of the NSARS campaign that's going on in Nigeria. So if you guys don't know, Nigeria is in complete political and governmental shambles as there is a youth versus the government movement going on right now. So there's been a lot of violence. A lot of people have lost their lives. A lot of people are fighting for their right to not be frisked by the police, not be interrogated, and not be antagonized by the police, as well as branches of the police like SARS. I did a 1-hour live stream on how I felt about SARS, the movement, what's going on, my thoughts, my opinions, and everything. So you guys can check that out if you are interested. Now, I didn't ever really want to talk about the whole diaspora topic on my channel because I just feel like someone like me who was born in America but has Nigerian heritage and was born and pretty much raised into both cultures, to be honest, I feel like I have the most authentic way to talk about the diaspora war. But I feel like because of my audience and it being majority Black American women, it does get a bit complicated for me, and it leaves me to be hesitant to say certain things, just trying to avoid not offending people, but also staying true to the things that I believe. So I'm just gonna say this: I am in no way, shape, or form making this video to bash Black Americans. I am in no way, shape, or form making this video to bash Africans. I feel like through the entire diaspora war, I feel like both parties are at fault for how bad it has gotten. But I feel like we have to be real here about how this started and why it's continuing, and why this is a prime example where unity can actually be applied. And I know it's very impossible for everyone to be unified as Black people, Black American, African, Jamaican, Haitian, whatever it may be. I know it's very far-fetched, and let's be real, we probably won't see anything close to complete unification in our lifetime. But I do find it very interesting that throughout this entire NSARS protest and the social media movements that we've been seeing, it shows that the diaspora war is alive and well, and it also shows the importance as to why we have to end it, or at least start to understand each other's side. Like I said, I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am American. I have an American passport. I have a Nigerian passport. I have 100% American citizenship. I don't have Nigerian citizenship. I've been to Nigeria 3 times in my life, and I've had a great time each time. But through having parents who were born in Nigeria and who came to the United States for educational purposes, you know, I'm indulged in both cultures. My parents speak fluent Igbo. I don't speak the language, but I do understand some parts of it, and I'm very interested to always learn, uphold, and keep my culture going no matter what anybody tells me. But I also feel that I have a part of American culture because of my accent, the clothes that I wear, the trends that I like, what I'm into, the music that I listen to, and so many other aspects that are contributing to who I am as a person. And with the whole NSARS campaign, I've seen a lot of people talk about their support for Nigeria, and I'm very happy that Black Americans and just Black people all over the world are coming together and just bringing awareness for this entire campaign. I saw that Nigerian pop star Tiwa Savage did speak out and call out Beyonce, asking her, you know, to speak up and spread awareness about the NSARS campaign. And I felt like that was a very, very, very brave and very bold move on her behalf, because we know when you play with Beyonce in the Beehive, you know, you might get stung. I'm actually very happy that I've seen a lot of American musicians and other American influencers speak out and help the movement come into fruition as to what it is today. And I know it's wrong to look at the negatives of things when there's a lot of positivity going on, but I did address that in my live that I did a few days ago. I can't help but see that there are some people that don't understand why people do have to come together. Let's be real. Black American culture is a certain way, and African culture, i.e. Nigerian culture, is another way. But there's so many similarities that people don't even regard when talking about it. People act as if we are not of the same race, let alone the same origin. The only problem is the location of where we're at, and probably the cultural aspects that have had to evolve over time because of the Atlantic slave trade. We know whose fault it is, okay? We know whose fault it is. But I also feel like in a time where Africans are suffering in their own ways and Black Americans are suffering in their own ways, we now see how common we are. We now see how many things that we have that are similar, apart from our skin tone and apart from our origin. Just international problems that are similar. I was on Instagram the other day going through my message requests, which I usually don't do, and I found it so funny that there were people writing me, you know, go back to Nigeria, or I thought you said Nigeria was the best country ever and you always talk down on Black Americans, which I've never done. It goes to show when you're both American and you're both Nigerian and you put out your support for both parties, but certain parties attack you for having support for your actual heritage, which is being African. Whether you know where you come from or not in Africa, just know that our bloodlines are all connected in some way, shape, or form as Black people. And that's on period. People have always made jokes about me growing up, you know, go back to Nigeria, where's your green card, talking in cliques, saying awawa, calling me an African booty scratcher. And what baffles me about that is when you tell people how much those words hurt and they try to tell you to get over it, or it was years ago, or as if somehow I'm supposed to just shrug my shoulders to such an ignorant comment. And these comments are still being told to me to this day. I look through my social media comments sometimes and I see comments about people saying, go back to Nigeria, worry about your own country, you put Nigeria first, you're a Nigerian first, so you're anti-American, why do you speak on American issues? As if I'm not a natural born citizen of the United States. It doesn't make any sense to me. And even if I wasn't, if I'm Americanized and I'm in this country, I grew up, I speak like I'm from here, you wouldn't really know I'm Nigerian unless I told you. I want to know where the audacity comes from to put me down for a culture that we both share. I could be mean and say a whole bunch of things back to so many different people, but I usually don't, because you guys should know from watching my content, I'm the type of person that wants to unify people more than separate them. But I will make clear distinctions between what is real and what is not real, what it is and what it isn't, and the facts versus what's not true. And if we're being real, the reality is Africans immigrated to this country at one point. And yes, Black Americans did do a lot through legislative movements and through political movements for immigrants to be able to come to this country and receive benefits. That's something to appreciate from the ancestry of Black Americans of today. But I personally feel that when Africans came to America, of course you're going to realize you're different than your other Black people, but you don't know why and you don't know by how much. And then when you get that culture shock, no matter where you go, you're going to feel some type of way. And I definitely think Africans probably started to shun some of the practices of the other Black people that they saw in America. And that's just a difference of culture. And I don't think it's necessarily negative, but it's definitely something to point out. And I also think in return, Black Americans do feel some type of way about Africans on many different occasions. And you can't tell me that Black Americans don't, because I mean, I'm a victim of it. I'm right in the center. I know what people say about me. I know what people assume about me. And I know what people think about me before they even get to know me. And I don't know how we're going to bridge this diaspora gap, but I think this movement with end SARS and people seeing how relevant and how common the issues are in Africa, specifically Nigeria in this case, as well as in the Black American culture through politics and the government and everything like that, how similar we are. I feel like this is a time and a place for us to come together more than draw each other apart. But people should also understand that there are things that have to be said and put out on the table for us to get over some of the animosities and let it be water under the bridge. I don't necessarily have a solution, you guys, okay? I'm not an all-knowing being. I'm not sure what the solution is, but I'm glad that for the most part, the comments that I've gotten are in support of what's going on and spreading awareness. And I kid you not, when George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, when that was a big thing, if you guys don't think Africans were supporting the way that Black Americans are supporting Nigeria right now, you're wrong. Africans were supporting the movement. Africans were aware of that, because guess what? There's a lot of African nations that are going through the same political and governmental problems that we go through here in the United States. But your ignorance shouldn't be a reason to assume that someone doesn't care or someone doesn't see themselves in your position. Open up your mind and think. You're not the only person on this earth. You're not the only Black person on this earth. There are Black people with the same blood as you that probably have the same tribal background as you that you just don't know, because unfortunately your ancestry may have been stripped from wherever, that are literally the same exact person you are, just in a different location on God's green earth. So moving forward, I hope this movement can bring us all together as Black people. I know it's easier said than done. We're probably never going to get there, or at least not in my lifetime will I see something like that, but I want us to move more towards that. I feel like we should be able to instill our cultures in our own ways and be unique, because at this point, we can't go back to how it was back in slavery times and before. Africans have their own culture, specifically through the countries and specifically through the tribes within those countries, and Black Americans have their own cultures, specifically within states and even within cities right here in America. So I don't want to see any discussion about what this Nigerian did or didn't do, what this Nigerian American did or didn't say, what this Black American did or didn't post to help support, because at the end of the day, we're literally all fighting the same battle in one way or another. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. What are your thoughts on my commentary? Please leave it down below. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.